Hello, everyone. We are really counting down now in Module 14. This week, you'll be looking at the chapter that deals with integrating technology and creating change as teacher leaders. So let's get right to it. In the module, you will begin with the overview. And in the overview, you'll see the learning objectives again and an outline of what you'll be doing. In general, you'll be looking at information from the textbook, as mentioned before, as well as a session on interactive whiteboard tools. And then you'll also be introduced to the last big project for this class, which is the teacher webpage ePortfolio. And since this is a large project, as with the other 100 pointers, you'll be given 2 weeks, and actually 2 weeks plus to get this one done. You want to make sure that you do the very best that you can. You'll be learning how to create a web page, and you'll be including information not only as if you are a teacher in your future classroom wanting to create a web page for your students and parents, but also as a way to show off what you have accomplished in this class as an e-portfolio. Normally, that's not done at the same place, but that's what we'll do for this last project. And so if we go next, you'll see that there is a session here on interactive whiteboards. There are some links to click. There's also different pages to go through here. So make sure that you have a chance to review that section on interactive whiteboards. And then next you'll go into the down and dirty on how to create this teacher webpage ePortfolio. Now, please be sure to read all pieces here. It's pretty much scripted for you in terms of the content and what you need to put in. You can certainly add more, but there are some minimums that are expected. You'll be creating a website on a software piece that is generally pretty easy to do. It's drag and drop, and you can be creative, and if you have some experience and want to do something more, you're welcome to, but I would stick with something that's pretty easy and not spend a whole lot of time on learning coding, but to use what's out there. These websites allow you a free version. They also have a paid version, which I don't recommend at this point. At some point, you might want to do that. But Weebly is a popular one. It has an educational version, as well as Wix. Both of them offer you a chance to create one free web page. And again, both of them are pretty popular with students in the past because they look pretty, and you just can add all sorts of different elements, and it makes it a lot more attractive. There is also, of course, Wikispaces, which you have used in the past to create a website. In the past, you used it for your instructional strategies, collaborative project. However, compared to Weebly and Wix, Wikispaces really does not offer very much in terms of aesthetics and looking good. So I would try to go for either Weebly or Wix, but if you really would rather stick with something plain, you can certainly use Wikispaces. Be sure, however, to use the classic wiki and not the classroom application type, and you'll need to change the settings there to general. And also, if you have opened a Google account via your Gmail, you have access to what Google has in terms of creating wiki pages, and that is Google Sites. Could not hyperlink that because it would go to my site, and of course you want to have it to your site. But if you just go under your Google account, you'll have an opportunity to search for sites, and it should give you the direct link to your personal account for that. So I created, actually it's been a number of years, so there have been some changes, but I created a sample Weebly website for this class to kind of provide you with a model for what you would want to do. Now, again, there have been some changes since I did this originally, so please don't hold it as the exact model. But you'll get an idea of what is expected here. I have a home page, an introduction page, my learning or accomplishments. This is the page where you link all of your assignments from this class, whether it be to another web page like the wiki page, for example, or to a file, in this case, a collaborative lesson plan. And again, yours will look a little different than this. For example, we did not do a PowerPoint for this class, but if you watch and look at the rubric, it will require that you do some optional activities in order to earn the maximum points. So I posted that a number of weeks ago to give you a head start, but if you haven't been doing that, you'll have to see if you can do some catch up there if you want to get those extra or maximum points. And there is a page here on lessons, and in this page you're to include your favorite lessons for the classroom. These should not be the same lessons that you have used for your own, like WebQuest or your own collaborative lesson plan. These are lessons that you have explored on the web that you know will have some kind of technology involved, because after all, this class is about educational technology. And also, you need to not only write them out, link them here, but also give an explanation as to why you think they would be an asset to your class. And remember, you're going to be sort of creating this web page like you are a teacher in a classroom. So I kind of skipped through this a little quickly, but if you go back to introductions, you can use your own name or make up a new name, and you make up an imaginary school and classroom that you're teaching. And then you create that page in lessons. So that I was third grade, I want to make sure that these are third grade lessons. And then when I go to the student websites page, I'm looking for web pages that are fun and engaging, but also learning oriented for your students, and they should be appropriate for the grade that you select to teach. There should be a parent page, and the parent page, you can do a number of things. You can write a letter to your parents. You can provide the initial parent letter where you tell them what kinds of expectations your classroom will have for students, or the list of supplies that they may need. This would be something that in real life you would probably build upon, but for this one you just need to have some kind of parent page and in showing an effort to communicate with your parents. Now, I realize that you don't have a whole lot of information about textbooks, but you can research it. If you're teaching, as I have here, a third grade class, I included a science book, a math book, and a social studies book, and I linked it to the particular online version. So you'll want to make sure that you've linked them, and you don't have to do a whole lot with this, but again, it's just sort of helping you think about, in a real classroom situation, you would be wanting to be sharing what kinds of textbooks you'll be using for your class. And then finally, there is a page that you need to create on your resources. Now, unlike what you've done in the past where you've put APA citations, here you don't use that. You're going to use simply a statement explaining that these are the resources that you have found throughout this class, which I introduced again way early in the class about using a Delicious account, creating a Delicious account, or I also provided some options because we were having issues with Delicious. So if you used Diigo or use Symbaloo or use another one of the social bookmarking tools, that's fine. But you'll want to link that so that as a reader, I can go out and see all of the websites that you have linked during the course in EME 2040. So that's what it's going to look like. If I go back to this teacher webpage, you'll see that I have some additional content. Make sure you read through that. But I did put in a screencast tour of that, which I just also did as well. But go through this one because I may have some additional detail on there. And then there is also a screencast video introducing you to Weebly, which is only one of the websites that you have the option to use. And I know things have changed a little bit too since I did those originally, but you can learn pretty easily how to do things here. And if you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. I would recommend that you look at the help page for either Weebly, Wix, whichever ones you're wanting to do, but please don't hesitate to contact me. Now, again, this assignment is not due until, I believe, December 7th, so you have time to work on this. Yeah, it's not due on Sunday, November 27th. In fact, the only thing that will be due is your optional blog post if you choose to do that on Chapter 12. And then I would also very much encourage you to begin thinking about reviewing, getting some background information on this last big project, because time will go by quickly now as we roll down to the last few days. So here is the opportunity to submit that optional blog post. And then if you want to begin working in depth on your teacher webpage ePortfolio, I do recommend that you go through Module 15 Overview, and there are some reminders about the teacher webpage ePortfolio, but more importantly, or just as importantly, I should say, you'll want to go to the rubric, because you will see that the rubric, unlike some of the others where I have more opportunities to earn points, this one is a rubric that was created at the education department level as opposed to me creating it individually. And I had some input into it, but you'll see that there are some heavy-duty points here. And for example, for the ePortfolio section of the teacher webpage ePortfolio, in order to earn the 30 points, you need to have all previous assignments included with 3 or more optional assignments. And remember, I talked about the optional assignments in previous modules. So if you need to go back and review those, I would strongly suggest that you do. And also another big pointer here are the website pages, to have each of those website pages that I just talked about, and then having them with the content required. Layouts looked at as well as graphic elements. And again, some of you still continue to have issues with the use of images and videos. Images need to be properly attributed. Also, a very important thing to use only Creative Commons licensed or public domain licensed photos or images, and to link them directly to the original website. And then you will be also graded on your writing for this. So I would suggest that you go through and look at that if you're ready to start working on your teacher webpage ePortfolio. So hopefully that helps, and hopefully you have a wonderful Thanksgiving holiday. And I look forward to seeing what you've done as we work towards finishing up this last module, a couple of modules actually. So again, let me know if you have any questions as you work on this.